So in my job, I have been working in nutritional health for over 8 years now. And specifically in the last 4 years, I've been working more predominantly with keto, carnivore, those types of low carb sort of diets. And one of the things that I run across all of the time is that people follow a protocol, or they follow a dietary plan, or they might get something off the internet, or they might buy a book on it, and they try and follow those things as closely as they possibly can. But they're not necessarily getting the results that they want to be getting. And this is one of the reasons where, when I'm working with clients in my clinical sort of space, I'm asking them to do things like blood glucose and blood ketone testing, because I want to know, are we actually getting the real benefits of what we think we are achieving? Because I've seen over and over and over again that we don't actually always get that. We don't often always actually completely achieve those results. So the results are the important part. Like, you put in a lot of time, energy, work, you deal with your emotions, you do all of the things to help you eat in a certain way. But what if you're not actually getting the results? And for me, that's the key important part is, are you actually getting the results? Because biologically, I've seen it over and over again that two people can do the same exact diet, but it's not actually working for one person as well as it might be working for the other, because they need slightly different things. They might need extra support in different areas. They've come from different health backgrounds. They've had different health lifestyles. They're different ages. They're different genders. Like, all of those things come into account when it comes to getting the results. And so for me, that is the key element of whether this is actually working for you. And I see it again in the literature when I'm looking at the research as well about, the ketogenic diet, and there might be some that say yes and some that say no. Often when I'm looking at it, most of the time, what I'm not necessarily seeing is that they're actually checking the ketones, because are you doing a ketogenic diet if there are no ketones? And actually the answer to that is no. If you're not actually producing enough ketones, then you're not actually getting the benefits of a keto diet. And so some people, that means that we have to play around with their fat intake. We might need to play around with their exercise. We might need to play around with a couple of different things that could be going on in their bodies. But the key part is tracking. And I love tracking. Like, it's one of the things that I have done for myself over the last 4 years of being a carnivore. I track pretty much every day. There's only been a few times in the last 4 years that I've not tracked, and there have been seasons of particularly heightened stress, or we've been traveling, or something else has happened. But other than that, I've tracked pretty much every day what my blood glucose is and what my ketones are. Now, that process has been made super simple by wearing continuous monitors. So Cibio's continuous ketone monitor is one of those tools that I love to get clients on if I possibly can, simply because it gives us so much information to work with. When we've got a continuous ketone monitor on, we can start to see, when do things change for me? Because very often, if you've had metabolic health issues, what's likely to happen is at the start of the day, you don't have very much ketones. But throughout the day, you might start producing more and more ketones. And so we look for the wins. And the win might be that by the end of the day, you're in ketosis and you're burning fat as a primary energy source. Whereas at the start of the day, that might not be happening. And then we can track over time that those trends change. It's also super interesting to watch with people with insomnia or sleep issues or sleep disturbances, because we can often see the continuous monitor is going overnight. It will give us information if there are peaks, if there are troughs, if there are things that are happening that we could potentially help support you with. So for example, often I'll see people with insomnia, they will have a dip in ketones overnight, which is actually not meant to happen. You're meant to have a rise in ketones overnight, because you're not putting food in. You should be burning fat as fuel overnight. And so for some of those people, we need to give them some extra fat before they go to bed. It might be that they're eating some butter. It might be that they've got a piece of cheese. It might be something else. But by changing that one simple thing, suddenly we now start to get some really good results, not just with their ketones, but with their ability to sleep through the night, with their energy starting to restore itself, because they're getting good quality sleep. And this is the benefit of tracking, and it's the benefit of wearing some of the continuous glucose and ketone and monitors that are out there to help you actually see what's happening at what stage, where am I getting my improvements. So again, for myself, I recognize that for me at this point in my life, my glucose goes up overnight. So I get what's called the dawn effect. And then as soon as I eat in the morning, that's when things start to change. And so because I know that information, I want to move my eating window earlier in the morning so that I eat as soon as I get up, so that I can reduce those glucose, keep those ketones up nice and high, and actually get the results that I want to be getting. And so again, this is why I love the continuous monitors. And I want to tell you, CBO right now have got a Black Friday sale. And if you would like to take advantage of that, it's 15% off, which is a really great deal. You want to take advantage of that. I will put my link in the description somewhere, and you'll be able to access that. You might find it in my link tree. All right. If you are doing something for your health, make sure you're actually getting the proper results from it, that you're actually achieving the things that you want to be achieving by creating the biochemical changes in your body. And that's what those continuous monitors help us do. They help us track, are we getting the biochemical change that we are hoping for? Let's make sure we are getting it rather than just hoping for it. All right, that's it for me. I'm Christina. Bye for now. Talk to you again soon.